Welcome back to Drill's Garage. Today I need to figure out what happened with the Boxster and that leak. I need to get the car fixed, but I don't want to take it anywhere. And not only that, nobody really accepts it if it's leaking fluid all over the place. So I need to take it apart, figure out what happened, where that leak came from, and how to fix it. Stay tuned. Get that bottle, people. Mean dog, mean dog. I don't know what it is with her and those water bottles. She loves chewing on them. In the last video, I had parked the car right here, and you can see there's an oil spot from where I stopped the car. So then I backed the car up, and you can see the oil, not oil, but power steering fluid, up to where the car is sitting right now. And then look at that puddle. That is substantial. The worst part of that is that it goes right onto the exhaust header, and power steering fluid is very flammable, especially when it gets hot. I'm surprised it didn't catch fire the other day, because I've had it happen to me before. On my 964 one time, I was working on it, and some power steering fluid went down into the heat exchanger, and it caught fire, and it was shooting out flames, and I'd put it out with the extinguisher, and they would just reignite as soon as I was done because of that heat. So I'm very lucky that this car didn't burn to the ground, because there was no way I would have been able to stop it. I wouldn't have been able to get a fire extinguisher up inside that engine compartment to put the fire out. So thank my lucky stars. I'll fix it, but I can't drive this car until that's fixed. Simple as that. I had to roll the car outside so I could get the door open. I took the seat out, I took the panel out there, and from what I can see, it's coming from somewhere over here. So I'm gonna need to start the car up and see where I see any kind of squirting, although from the looks of it, the reservoir is probably empty. But let's see what happens when I start the car. You can see that, but as soon as the exhaust gets hot, it starts to smoke like crazy. So let me turn that off, because I don't want flames. Definitely not. But man, look at that. My poor little car. I'm going to open the top so I can have access from the upper side of the motor instead of just from the front here. It's unfortunate that I can't really let it run too long because of all that smoke, and I do not want that stuff to catch fire. I'll go grab a fire extinguisher anyway and have it on hand, but I do not want fire. I'm gonna put some fluid in the reservoir there and see what happens. I can't find the exact location of the leak. It looks like down there it's really wet, but I can't see where it's coming from. And when I start it, the pump just whines because it's running dry. So I'm gonna fill up that reservoir and see what happens. Look, 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 look. Let me just put a little bit of this in here and see if I can find the leak. I'm supposed to be using CHF 11S, but whatever, 202, that's just fine. Plus it's what I have on hand, so it'll have to do. All right, let's crank it up. See what happens. Look at this pot of oil. Okay, I see exactly what happened. There's a hose up there. Let me see if I can show it. That hose right there, that one, got burned by the exhaust header. That's what happened. That's my leak. Man, that's a bad one. That could have been very, very dangerous. So I got to get this car up on the lift and get that hose out. Wow. So much for not making a mess. I tried putting that cardboard down to catch the spill, but it looks like it was just shooting it out of there. So gotta put some oil dry on that. All right, with the wheel off, you can see better. Look at that hose. Yep, it burned. Power steering fluid everywhere. Disconnected the hose here. And then I gotta get up there from inside the car. This is not gonna be that easy. Got the hard line here. That goes around the back of the compressor, comes up here, and attaches to the pump. The problem is, it's a hard line. And to get it out, I'm gonna have to remove the compressor. The only way to remove the compressor is to remove the intake plenum. But for today, I'm just gonna clean up, get all this stuff, get all this fluid out of here. There's puddles everywhere. Get the bottom of the car done. This stuff is very corrosive, so it needs to be cleaned ASAP. I got it all sprayed down with brake parts cleaner. I used quite a bit, and I think for now that'll do. I cleaned the inside already, but at least there's nothing more. You know, it's pretty clean, it's dry. That stuff is very corrosive. Now that it's a little cleaner and just a little more, you know, together or organized or whatever you want to call it, I can show you. Before I couldn't really film too much because there was too much of a mess. So this line was touching that header, and as you can see, it burned a hole in it. I can't get the light. So yeah, that's what happened. And something I could not have foreseen. I mean, maybe when I put the header on, but since this is flexible, you know, when I put the header up, it didn't give me any resistance. I had no reason to suspect that something may not be right. But there you have it. Something wasn't right. Okay, I'm gonna call it a day, but don't go anywhere yet. I have something important to say. I'm gonna get this out of the way first. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. More to come on the Boxster. You saw the hose that I need to repair. It's going to be a little bit of work getting it out of there, but I'll get it done. So what I want to say is this. I am a believer of no BS, kind of keep it real. That's kind of my thing. You know, even my business is called keeping it real. So thinking about this accident, about what happened is, you know, minor, whatever as it may have been. The way it happened was this. I needed to take a friend to the airport. I was with this car. He had a couple big suitcases. I had to go home to get my truck. When I went home, this happened. You know, I go back to pick him up, and I tell him what happened. He says, you know what, maybe it's for a reason. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know, I didn't really give it any more thought after that. And then today, as I'm looking to see what happened here and everything that went down, kind of had a little bit of an, I don't know if epiphany would be the right word, but just, you know, a kind of like a moment, you know. As upset as I was at the guy for having, you know, crashed into my car that I put so much work into and all of that stuff, I was going to take this car to the track the following day. That hose would have burned and would have melted at the track. Now, at the track, those headers would have been glowing bright red with heat. That fluid would have lit on fire. And for as long as that engine was running, and there were flames, it would have burned the car down, and I would have lost the car.
at the track. To take it further, if for whatever reason, I'm in the car, I'm all harnessed in, I'm strapped in, I got my helmet on, my Hans and all that stuff. If for whatever reason, I would not have been able to get out of that car, and let me tell you, that car would have burned quickly, I wouldn't be here today. So as upset as I was at the moment, maybe that guy saved my life. Thanks for watching.